Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahushai, Ba'ashim Rakakwadash, Barakata. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well, and peace and salutations to Ya'akim out there pushing this word in truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe. May you brothers endure until the end. This is the brother I with another video just to show the state of the world we live in right now, and that we're very close to the end, where Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua is about to visit this place and get rid of all our enemies and put the true children of Israel, which you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, into that eternal rulership. But I'm going to start it off with Psalm chapter 12, verse 8. The wicked walk on every side when the vilest men are exalted. And you can see the state of the world right now with these Edomites, or so-called white people in rulership. You've got wars, hundreds of thousands to millions of people dying, the environment destroyed, animals destroyed, people's relationships destroyed, and poisons around the world such as homosexuality and feminism just ruining these other nations of people. And that's what we're going to get into with this article I have on the New York Times, and the title reads, India gay sex ban is struck down. Indefensible, court says. The wicked walk on every side when the vilest men are exalted. And a lot of people will say, oh, this is just the world getting pushed in the right direction, becoming more liberal. But no, this is because those Edomites, or so-called white people in rulership, the leaders of these countries rub shoulders with the elites, such as the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds and such, and they're the ones telling them to push these agendas in the world so they can push that New World Order, because homosexuality is a part of that New World Order. It helps with the depopulation agenda. New Delhi. India's Supreme Court on Thursday unanimously struck down one of the world's oldest bans on consensual gay sex, a groundbreaking victory for gay rights that buried one of the most glaring vestiges of India's colonial past. After weeks of deliberation by the court and decades of struggle, trying to open up this article, I had it on airplane mode. After weeks of deliberation by the courts and decades of struggle by gay Indians, Chief Justice Deepak Misra said the law was irrational, indefensible, and manifestly arbitrary. It was one of the main things keeping your country from completely falling apart, because now India is on a track to fall apart just like America, because the America, also known as Babylon the Great, used to have anti-sodomy laws, or homosexual sex laws, and when they got rid of that, you saw these sodomites start come out more in the open, start pushing to get the same rights as heterosexuals. And then what do we have after that? Same-sex marriage, and now you've got transgenderism, and now they're trying to push for pedophilia. So you're going to see India go down this same path, because they've taken away these obviously natural laws that keep a society from completely collapsing. And then they say the law was irrational, indefensible, and manifestly arbitrary. And this brings me to my next precept in Isaiah chapter 5, verse 20. Woe or destruction unto them that call evil good and good evil, such as saying homosexual relations isn't a bad thing, and that you should stop being a prude living in the old world, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. So with these Indians, so-called Indians, or Elamites as they're biblically known, making homosexual relations legal, now they're deep six invested and definitely going to swallow one of those nukes when Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai puts it on the spirit of these nations to start shooting their nukes at each other. News of the decision instantly shot around India. On the steps of an iconic courthouse in Bangalore, people danced, kissed, and hugged tightly, eyes closed. In Mumbai, India's pulsating commercial capital, human rights activists showered themselves in blizzards of confetti. The justices eagerly went further than simply decriminalizing gay sex. From now on, they ruled, gays are to be accorded all the protections of the Indian Constitution. This ruling is hugely significant, said Meenakshi Ganguly, the South Asia Director for Human Rights Watch, with restrictions on gay rights toppling in country after country, the ruling in India, the world's second most populous nation, may encourage still more nations to act, she said. So it's all a domino effect, all coming out of America or Babylon the Great, because that's that whore that's pushing all her philosophies onto the world, and she's going to be destroyed for it because the elites use America as their main enforcer to push their agendas for the New World Order. And that while they're about to be done with the U.S. and move over towards the east, probably to China, they're still using the U.S. to put on the finishing touches of this New World Order. And this brings me to Jeremiah 51 verse 7. Babylon, also known as America, hath been a golden cup in Yahweh's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. And we're seeing these nations go mad. They're starting to take on that westernized mindset, that democratic mindset, where they're allowing feminism to get into their countries and pollute their women. And now, as we just read with India, allowing gay sex to be legalized. And this brings me to Nahum chapter 3 verse 4. Because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts, such as homosexuality, that selleth nations through her whoredoms and families through her witchcrafts. Verse 5. Behold, I am against thee, saith Yahweh of hosts, and will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and will shew the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame. And we're seeing Yahweh Bashim Yahushai do that right now with his prophets on the highways and byways, chiefly through GMS, a great millstone, and the brothers that come in the spirit of GMS, making videos such as this, showing how the Edomite rulership is negatively influencing the world, and for that, the Edomite rulership is going to come to an end, and America is going to be destroyed with nuclear missiles, and you Edomites are going to go into 1,000 years of hardcore bondage and slavery before your eventual eradication. Still, however, historic the ruling of the court, historic the ruling of the court, considered a liberal counterweight to conservative politics sweeping India, gay people here know that their landscape remains treacherous. Changing a law is one thing, changing deeply held mindsets another, and few suggested that other major victories like same-sex marriage were on the near horizon. See, it's all a domino effect. First, being a sodomite is made okay in the society, then you get a same-sex marriage, then comes transgenderism, and then eventually pedophilia, among all other blasphemies. Many Indians are extremely socially conservative, going to great lengths to arrange marriages with the right families of the right castes. Loved ones who try to rebel are often ostracized. Countless gays have been shunned by their parents and persecuted by society. Much of this may also be true in other parts of the world, but what made India stand out from most, at least until Thursday, was its application of an anachronistic law drawn up by British colonizers during the prime and often painfully Victorian era and kept on the books for 150 years. And what's funny about that is when those Edomites were in that Victorian era where they were real stringent on keeping their society together, they were in the main part of their power seat. They had all their colonies and all these peoples under their foot, but the rulership's coming to an end now. And now I'm going to close it out with Revelation chapter 18, verse 3. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. And Revelation 18 is speaking of Babylon the Great, or America. And we're seeing how the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. They're starting to take on the ways of America, push through Hollywood or what have you, such as feminism or homosexuality being made legal, and it's made them mad. And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies, and America, or Babylon the Great, is going to be destroyed for this. And when we go into the Strongs for Revelation 18 and 3, when we go to a few words such as wrath, Salak, it's Strong's G 23:72. Thumos, which reads, passion, angry, heat, anger boiling up, soon subsiding again, glow, ardor, the wine of passion, inflaming wine. And homosexuals are very lustful people. They're given into their wicked passions. It says, and have drunk of the wine, salak. Salak, I'm having problems. Satan, and it said, and have drunk of the wine of the wrath. Satan's really trying to mess with me on this one. And the king, and it says, have drunk of the wine of the wrath, or the passions of her fornication. Let's go to that word, fornication. It wasn't going
Strong's
this slow
G,
earlier.
4202.
I apologize.
Parnaya. Parnaya.
Parthnaya. And what does it read? Illicit sexual intercourse, adultery, fornication, homosexuality, lesbianism. So that just fits it to a T. For all the nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath or passions of her fornication, such as homosexuality. And for that, not only is America's going to be completely destroyed, but a lot of these nations are going to take some damage from nuclear missiles as well. So brothers, this is just a sign of the times that we're damn near at the end of Esau's rulership. So keep strong and do what you need to do to keep in this truth and push this word as hard as you can. So I'm going to say a Baba Ball, Kwam Yasharala. Until next time, Shalom.